What's going on with y'all boys? GCTV back with another video. I gotta go really quick here because I'm gonna have to go check into work and see if I work today and what I work this week because my job is like fucking me over in the worst ways. Oh, we're not gonna put you on the paper schedule. You have to go in and you have to go on an app and look at it. I'm like, dude, I don't have the app. I haven't been working for 9 months, so I don't know. That's besides the point. Let's get on to a brighter note because, wow, the lights in the background, speaking of which, I don't know why they're so bright on this episode, but we are going to be talking about Season 2, Episode 12 of Breaking Bad. This is the episode before the finale. The episode is called Phoenix. We're going to get through the plot. We're going to get to my feelings. You guys know how it goes. I don't know. This might be a shorter review because my mom is coming home and we're going to drive over there to my work. Walt barely delivers the inventory of drugs to Gus in time, but misses his daughter's birth. At least he got there to chill with his wife. I thought it was going to be a lot worse. I thought he wasn't even going to go to the hospital, but he did. So good man. He arrives at the hospital where he finds that Ted drove Skylar there. So maybe a little bit more is going on there between Ted and Skylar, but she was at work, so I think Ted kind of had a driver there. Good man. Um, at Jesse's apartment, Jane wakes up when she is phoned by her father, Donald, because she is late for a narcotics anonymous meeting. Obviously, they're drugged up. They've been sleeping through stuff. And she's nervous because this has happened a couple of times in her and Jesse's relationship. Her dad has called while they were hanging out. It's kind of an unfortunate thing. But, let's see. At lunch afterwards, she does not mention that she has started using heroin again and acts as though she does not know Jesse when her father asks about him. It's a little suspicious. I'm sure her father has suspicions that she has been hanging out with this Jesse guy. She has been using heroin again, so she has relapsed on the drugs. It's very sad. It's very unfortunate. It's a very heavy thing that happens in the show. Yeah. Jesse, seeing the aftermath of Walt's search, initially believes he got robbed, but then listens to the phone messages Walt left. I don't understand how he thought he got. I mean, I guess he was high when Walt busted in, took the drugs, and took him to Gus, but it was dumb as hell. Like, Walt should have told him. Well, I guess he had to kind of hurry up. But I don't know. Walt should have told him as soon as he possibly could so Jesse wasn't panicking. But then again, Walt doesn't really want to have anything to do with Jesse anymore. You know, they got their drug deal done, and they kind of want to be done with each other. Um, Walt, unable to tell anyone else in his family about the money, privately shows his daughter the stacks of cash hidden in the garage walls. Obviously, she's a baby. She isn't aware of what's going on, that her dad has all this cash. It really sucks. Like, he made this lucrative amount of money and he can't show his family because they're gonna know he did something to get the money that is illegal and something that's manipulative. He's in a really tough situation here. His son started a website. Later, Jesse shows up at Walt's classroom to ask for his share of the money, which Walt refuses because he believes it will further Jesse's addiction. He thinks if he gives him the money, he will just keep using heroin. That might be a good thing. Good thing for him to keep the money from a little while, but eventually he needs to pay up, and he will in this episode, by the way. It doesn't go much longer without Walt not paying because he knows that Jesse helped a little bit. I don't know. Walt kind of made the crack or whatever, the meth. But yeah. He promises to pay Jesse when he knows that Jesse and Jane are clean, so this is kind of a challenge for the couple to get clean, stop using heroin, which they probably wanted to get clean in the first place. It's not a really good thing to be doing heroin, shooting needles in your arms, stuff like that. But yeah, if they get clean, if they can prove that through a drug test, he will give him the money. Later, Jesse and Jane inject heroin in his apartment, so they're not going to get clean anytime soon. I don't know the statistics. I don't know how long heroin's in your body, but I'm pretty sure it's quite the long time. As he passes out, Jesse complains about Walt holding out on him, telling Jane that he is owed $480,000. So this is the part of the show where he's pretty much telling Jane everything that's happened, you know, the drug trade, him being involved with Walt. She kind of had a suspicion at the beginning of the relationship that he had something going on, but this is him kind of spilling the beans on the whole situation. He can't really hold back $480,000 from his girlfriend, really. That's not going to happen. They're in a relationship. Donald calls Jane again when she is late to another rehab meeting. Unbeknownst to Jane, he is waiting directly outside. So he kind of baited Jane outside. So now he knows, okay, she's kind of involved with this Jesse guy, which he's probably not mad at that she's with Jesse. She wanted her to see, he wanted her to see other people, but he's probably mad that it's with a guy that's a drug addict, right? late to another meeting. Seeing her emerge from Jesse's door, he barges in and finds evidence of them both using heroin. And obviously, A, you can't do that on his property, and B, it's his daughter. He wants to keep her safe. He wants to keep her rehabilitated, but obviously that's not going to happen. He is furious that she has relapsed and calls the police, however, doesn't finish it to make an official report. He was going to snitch on his own daughter. That's happened a lot on this show, actually. I don't know, it's weird. Let's see. Resultingly, Jane promises she will enter rehab the next day. I don't know, that might be a broken promise. Would I trust her if I was Donald? Probably not. He relents and gives her another chance. It's his daughter. He kind of has to. Meanwhile, Walt Jr. has put up a website so that people can donate to Walt's cancer surgery utilizing PayPal. So this is, I don't know. This is kind of a strange thing for Walt, because now his son's asking for money. Walt does not want to accept charity, especially because he earned the money to pay for his treatment, but cannot reveal its source to his family. It's weird. It's a really weird dynamic in the show. Walt's like, oh, we have the money, don't worry, we can do this. But the family doesn't know how. So, yeah. Sal tells him that he will contact a hacker to launder the money, making it look like it's coming from computers all over the world, and averting suspicions by putting it in small amounts. And obviously it's untraceable. You can't really trace it back to the source. He knows hackers. Sal knows all sorts of people. Sal has already done something for them once, pretty much. Someone disguised as Heisenberg, Walter White, going out and taking the bust. Jane calls Walt to blackmail him into giving Jesse his share. So Jane's like, I know what you did, and if you don't give Jesse the money, we're going to report you to the authorities. I mean, wouldn't Jesse kind of get in trouble too? Because I'm sure that Walt would rat him out in court. So I don't know. Walt delivers the money to Jesse and Jane, who are ecstatic and talk of getting clean, but still feel a strong pull to use their remaining heroin. They're conflicted. They're a very junky couple, as Walt says. I mean, he's not wrong. Walt goes to a bar to unwind, where he unknowingly sits next to Donald, Jane's father. It's one of the small world moments out there. The two start talking about the Phoenix probe's discovery of water on Mars, and about Donald's daughter and Walt's nephew Jesse. So I don't think Donald knows that those two are paired together, and I don't think Walt knows that that's Jane's father. Voicing their frustration over trying to help people who will not do what is good for them. So they both have two people in their youth that aren't doing what's good for them and stuff like that. They can relate over it, but really they're in the same relationship, so it's almost like that has to happen. Donald opines that one can never give up on one's family. Yes. Motivated by Donald's words, Walt goes back to Jesse's house to talk to him, but finds Jesse and Jane passed out from heroin use. While Walt is trying to wake Jesse, he inadvertently, unknowingly knocks Jane onto her back. She starts to choke on her own vomit. Walt rushes to help, but then after hesitating for a moment, lets her die in order to protect Jesse from their eventual overdose and for self-preservation, since she threatened to expose him. Walt begins to cry before looking on resolutely. This is a very sad ending to an episode, one of the sadder episodes in the whole series. Did Jane actually die? She died, didn't she? This is an important entry in the series, given its plot developments. I mean, it's a beautifully rich and layered work about the various ways parents and children disappoint each other. It's kind of got some social commentary in there. It's an A rating. It is perhaps the single best episode to date and one of the best shows television has ever produced. That's what people are saying about it. Bryan Cranston had a good performance in the episode's climactic scene. An episode of The Sopranos this episode is often compared to Kennedy and Heidi, if you've watched that series. I would say it's a high 8 out of 10. The episode was effective at increasing like the dramatic stakes leading into the season finale, stating that everything about this episode was used to push tension one step further for the finale. Cranston actually won an Emmy, or 3 consecutive Emmys. One of the writers was nominated for an award. Cranston talks about filming the scene of the episode Final scene of the episode, he recalls how he imagined his own daughter Taylor Dearden, and describes it as the most harrowing he did on Breaking Bad. This is a really, really, really good episode. This is honestly top tier. One of the best episodes I've seen so far. I have a lot to say about it. But yeah, this is a very, very good episode. Like once you get to this part of the season, it's banger after banger. Like so much stuff is happening, so many stories are developing, and I can't wait to watch the season finale tonight. And then we still have 3 more seasons of 13 episodes each. So we're kind of going crazy here, boys. We're going nuts. Yeah. I'm out. I'm going to give you guys the Euphoria review later. I had an Invincible Boa gameplay on 2K on my YouTube channel. It was about 25 minutes long. My internet kind of failed me in that, so it was kind of a failed banger episode, but yeah, I don't know when new segments are coming back. I'm going to have to see if I work today. If not, I'll give you guys a Quarry episode 2. There'll probably be 10 episodes in that series. I'll probably stream Fortnite or